Cool.
Oh, go.
Yeah, you said whenever I was ready.
Did you start it?
Oh yeah, I did.
Of course you did.
Yeah, now we've got more awesome Joe poses. We're gonna have a calendars with just Joe's amazing poses. That'll be
That's
great.
that's fantastic. Oh, wow. Good morning, everyone. Yes. Well, it's morning time. It's time for Double Cup of Joe show. I'm super excited, and I'm your host, Joe.
And I'm your other host, Joe.
And and the other host, Joe, is also the producer of the show, and he's got his finger on the button. So he didn't even give me a countdown this morning. I was just stretching, you know, doing my morning thing, and yeah, push the button.
Push the button.
Push the button. Let's everybody can screenshot it, put it on Discord. Right. Yeah. Much like my dab last night at the end of Don't Worry Wednesday, which was totally fun.
Elbow cough. It was an elbow cough.
Yes, elbow cuff, which is a lot like a dab.
hmm
That's right. So anyway, what's today? Today is Thursday,
Yeah, yes, I think so.
May the 7th. Monday, we forgot to celebrate the Star Wars holiday on Monday. The May the 4th be with you.
Oh yeah, we did.
We didn't even mention it, man. We're not doing our job as Star
So,
Wars geeks.
oh
Of course, you, you may not be a Star Wars geek.
no, yeah, I definitely am, but that's okay. I'm
Uh,
just not enough of one to remember that May the 4th is a holiday.
yeah, no, can't forget that. And then actually, Princess said, "Well, don't forget about Revenge of the 5th."
hmm
And I was like, "Ooh,
Forgot about that too.
brilliant!" Oh, it's your birthday, Keel. Happy birthday!
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow. Now you're older. Pretty awesome. So what are we talking about today, Joe?
We're talking about action. Action.
Action. What's up?
Mhm.
This is our last day talking about action. We're talking about perseverance. I can see it in the title, actually. I just looked. Um,
Cheater.
yes. No, that's not cheating. That's being resourceful,
Oh,
is what that is.
there's a difference.
Yes. But so yesterday we talked about roadblocks. You're gonna happen upon many roadblocks along your way, with whatever goal you're facing. And today we're gonna talk about following through all the way to the end and being a finisher. Because this world is full of great starters, and rarely do you find great finishers. How do you become one? I want to know because I need to get better in this area. I finish stuff like, but it takes me a really long time because I feel like I stop and I start and I stop and I start and I stop and I start a bunch of times along the way. But we're gonna hopefully figure some of that out. But first, we do what we do every morning, a three-step routine. We already have some people put in. Jeff is always ahead of the game. He's thankful for laughter. But that's step number one. What are you thankful for? And so you guys can post in the chat, what you're thankful for. And I'm going to ask Joe because he's thankful for something. I can tell by the way he's moving his head around over there. He's thankful for something. What are you thankful for, Joe?
Yeah, this is my thankful head bob means.
Meantime, I'm going to elbow my nose.
Oh, well, to distract from that, I'm gonna be thankful for the fact that it's been cold here still a little bit, so my allergies aren't as bad as they normally are, which is fantastic because I like to be able to breathe.
If I'm going to dab, I better sanitize my elbows.
You're not wrong. I mean, I can't fault your logic. I really can't.
And we know that your logic is legit.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm so sorry. What are you thankful for, Joe?
Uh,
I totally missed it.
I don't remember what I said anymore. So I'm gonna come up with a new one. I got so distracted by that. Um, oh, I said allergies. I'm thankful my allergies aren't that bad so far this
I
year.
thought you were gonna say you're thankful for your allergies.
No, not at all.
That's awesome. Hef is thankful for sleep. Akil's thankful for having family with him. Joe is thankful for not being in his father's house anymore. Yeah, that can be exciting. So, interestingly, Akil is thankful for the presence of family, and Joe Spitz is thankful for the absence of family in a way. So, hey, so there's always something to be thankful for. You guys, that's awesome. Thank you. Um, but allergies, this is allergy season, so your allergies aren't that bad.
Not yet.
Man, my allergies are awful. Spring,
Hmm.
but hey, it's what it is. I guess they get worse if I have to go outside. Which today I'm doing inspections, so we'll probably be yeah, having the tissues and the hand sanitizers around.
Joe has been the one who's buying up all the tissues and the hand sanitizer.
I can't buy up the hand sanitizer. The shelves are empty. It's amazing. Oh, cool. All right, there was a whole don't worry Wednesday thing on the issue. Oh, that's right. Okay. So anyway, but that's step number one. What are you thankful for? Step
Mm,
number two.
ooh,
What are you looking forward to? So now that you are thankful for
mhm,
something in the past and the present, now you can look toward the future.
ooh.
My future apparently has Joe in it.
Oh,
I can see the future. The future is Joe's going to talk about his future.
oh,
Oh,
wow.
what are you looking forward to, Joe?
Joe can see the future. Because I was going to talk about the future. um, I'm looking forward to seeing what people come up with for our first 3 day challenge. I posted our challenge to the web, the bss.studio last night.
Yes. Yes.
The thread doesn't open until tomorrow morning
Oh, but it's there.
at midnight. You should be able to read it. Let me know if you can't read it.
Oh, I'll click on there. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can. I can go there.
Mm-hmm.
Of
So
course, I'm a moderator, so
oh, that's true. I should log into my other account. But if anyone can't see it, let me know. I did post an announcement. The 3 day challenge is going to open this Friday
yep.
at midnight. So,
There's the direct link right there. You can click on that.
mm-hmm.
Check it out.
Go there. We're looking for people to kind of come up with a story, a short story, based on one of the 7 virtues, um, that that you want to have like made into something you want to see come to life. Because one, I think that's really cool, and two, it's a great way for the community to get involved in what we do. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of that.
Yeah, me too.
But
The first one. The first one. The first 3DC, maybe.
mhm, there's 3CDVNL. Wait, no, this is the wrong one.
There's
That's
three
you.
of me.
Yes. Bum bum bum.
I don't think the world can handle that. That's
Yeah,
creepy.
I know 2 Joes here is enough.
Yes.
Having a
That's
third.
awesome, man. I'm looking forward to that too. Wow. I just saw that. Actually, I saw that you put like a whatever the announcement thing at the top of the website now, so everybody can see. It's Friday. Hef is looking forward to some coffee.
Ooh.
Yeah. Host Fitz is gonna be going to bed. But yeah, after all night, working on some Minecraft stuff, I can understand the being ready for bed. That can totally be engaging. I know I've sat and played Minecraft forever because you can totally lose track of time playing Minecraft. But um, yeah, so that's step number 2. What are you looking forward to? Step number 3 now is what are you going to do today to move your life forward? It could be what you're looking forward to. So if you're looking forward to some coffee, one of the things you're going to probably do today is make some coffee.
Mm.
Yeah, but it can be anything. What are you looking forward to today, Joe?
Today.
Yeah.
You mean what am I gonna do today to move forward?
I mean, yeah, what are you going to do today?
I
I
swear
reverted you to step
we
number 2.
we have the hardest time with this process that only has 3 steps. We are so good at it. It's just so good.
Wasn't that great?
Yep. We're just checking to make sure you're all still awake. And
Right.
Joe's checking to make sure I'm still awake.
Good morning.
Morning. Today, to kind of move forward, well, I already posted the post last night, so can't really make people write things. So I guess I'm gonna have to do something else. I don't know what else I'm gonna do today.
What are you going to do today?
Whoa, this is crazy. I
You
have
can't
I
think of
have
anything
I
you're going
have
to do
an
today?
open day today, which
Are you
means
drawing a blank?
no, I don't know how to draw a blank. That seems complicated.
It's easy.
Oh, whoa, Joe, that was fast.
I'm good at drawing a blank. But I always have something to say about it.
Yeah, so I think today then I'm probably just gonna I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to a meeting and discuss the 3-day challenge. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
mm, that's right. We have a BSS staff meeting tonight, don't we?
I think today, is today Thursday.
It is.
Okay.
It is Thursday. It's gonna be awesome. So Joseph is gonna take a shower. Steph's gonna he's gonna go buy coffee instead of make it. I stand corrected. You do not need to make coffee. You can have somebody else make it for you. That is true. Akil's gonna catch up with his brother. So that's awesome. Time is relative. Yes, time is relative, especially when you've been up for 24 hours straight. Time becomes more relative, I think. But yeah, so awesome. Thank you guys for participating. I'm telling you, if you do this every day, you can think of more things. You can think of more than one thing that you're thankful for and looking forward to and going to do today. But start with one. And I'm telling you, just that really simple thing that we apparently have trouble doing and staying, keeping track of as we do it, uh, will absolutely change your life. It's amazing how it changes your perspective when you start thinking of things in a positive way. You start thinking about the past and the present positive way. You start thinking about your goals and then you put it into action. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible what can happen. So do it. Static P just made it. Working on some music. Man, that's so awesome. I can't wait to hear the new Static P music.
Mm,
And yes. So, at any rate, that's that.
that is that.
We could end right there, but I'm really
Yep.
looking forward to
Bye,
hearing
guys.
what Joe's going to want to
I introed at an awkward time. I'm gonna outro at an awkward time.
say. Yeah. So, like, that's the end of the show. Boom. Gone. That's it. But yeah, Joe is going to start us off today. He's going to be talking about this whole perseverance factor, and I'm excited to hear about it because these are things that I need to learn. I can persevere to the end, but like I said before, it seems like my whole process is a journey of starting and stopping and starting and stopping and trying
Mm.
hard. So how do you stick as you go? Joe, please explain.
Yes. Well, generally speaking, syrup or any kind of substance will assist you in sticking to things. Tape, glue. I'm telling you, we're gonna have a calendar's worth of screenshots to use. And it's gonna be fantastic. So perseverance is where we have to face Joe. It's gonna be great. You're gonna regret this.
Great. Wonderful.
So there's certain things you have to persevere. I persevere through some craziness on the show in the morning. Other people persevere through other kinds of craziness. It's just life. You have something to say, Joe? You can go
Nope,
for it. Nope.
nope.
Yeah, you do.
I'm just leaning in for this
Okay.
profound information. You have to persevere
I
through
have
dealing with me.
to.
Great.
Oh, it's harder to like your cheeks start hurting. Like, this is a great show. If you haven't been a part of this show before, well, welcome. It's so
It's
much
great for
fun.
us. I hope it's great for you too. Like we have a really good time.
My cheeks end up hurting every day. And it's like, to work out. So, we're talking today about perseverance, which is kind of a subset of what we talked about yesterday, which was roadblocks. Um, Perseverance is just keep keeping going, no matter what. And it's not necessarily, I say it's a part of roadblocks, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you just, you've pushed your rock down the hill. You've got your project started, you've got it rolling down a hill, but the finish line is significantly farther than the bottom of the hill. So your project stops rolling. It's no longer going on its own. What you have to do at that stage is actually go push your boulder, push your project through to the finish, and that can be really hard. It can be very, um, you know, very difficult to continue with something for that long, especially if you're not strong enough to move the boulder at first. Because what you have to do at that stage is then leave the boulder, find a way to move the boulder forward. So sometimes you're gonna have projects where you have to leave and come back, and that can be very difficult. One, because it's easy to forget that you had that project in the first place, but two, because once you leave a rock there, it's not moving. It's harder to get going after you left it. But sometimes you have to. Sometimes you're not strong enough to keep a project moving forward. Maybe you don't have the talents right now. Maybe you don't have the people right now. There are certain times where projects become more than you can handle. And perseverance, well, oftentimes we talk about just sticking with it through to the end, can also mean coming back to things that you weren't able to do earlier. It's one of the amazing things about the way that this life works is that sometimes you have really great ideas. Sometimes you have really cool things that you started that you didn't have the ability to finish. And it's not anything on you. It's not anything. And I wanted to preface our show about perseverance, where we continue to the end with the ones that you don't finish on the first go, because I'm sure There are many of you right now who have things that you've set on the back burner. That you said, right now, I can't finish this. I don't have the skills or the talents or the opportunity right now to do this. And so I wanted to tell you that just because you've done that doesn't mean that those projects can't exist again or that those things can't come to light. I've seen a lot of really, really cool videos from some very prominent YouTubers where they go back and they say, I'm going to finish, like, especially artists where they've done like a short story and, and like 5 years ago they started it and then they don't re-update like the beginning. They just keep going. And so it's really cool to see like, and here was what 5 years ago was, and here is now on the same story. And it's a wonderful way to be able to look back and say, look how much I've improved, and then to be able to finish a project that they were working on. Because the reason we're asking you to persevere, the reason that we think that this is such an important topic that we're dedicating a whole day to it, is because when you persevere, when you get through to the end, you can look back and see how far you've come. And that is a very uplifting and joyful thing that we want you to experience. And so I've now rambled enough that I think Joe has some words of brilliance to tell us.
I don't think that was rambling. I think that was genius. I'm like looking at all the stuff I'm working on right now, and a lot of it is exactly what you're talking about, which is a continuation of stuff that's been going on that started years ago. We're actually working on I get to work on an album now. Now that the book is done, um, and going off to the printer. Uh, so yeah, um, it's almost like now all we have to do is pay for it, set it up, and send the file over, and then that's it. And then it's off out of our hands. It'll be on its way back. I put a Kickstarter update out there for those of you who are part of the campaign. That the book is now going off to the printer. I've been talking to them for the last couple of days, just making sure we get all the specifications right. Looks like
Mhm.
everything's in order, so it's time to go, and we can pull the trigger. Tef, there are no more spelling errors. I fixed it.
All of them.
I
They're
did.
all
I did.
fixed.
I did a whole spell check. Like I did. I was like, I never did a spell check on this. Okay, so I just did the whole book. I was like, I set up this spell check. There's probably some that it missed, but that's okay. It'll be all right. It'll be a detective. It'll be like a mystery.
Grammar me is pleased. Uh,
Yep. So anyway, so that was pretty cool. But it, oh yes, and the fate of the USBs, that it's going to be a wearable USB. That'll be
ah.
cool. So at least that was the decision we made last week. I guess it could change because that hasn't been sent to the manufacturer yet. That was Kyle's job. I guess we're gonna find out. But at any rate, I'm really looking forward to being like Static. We have one full-time member of Black Static and Swerve, and that's Static P. That's Ryan. He has no other job except for BSS work. And I am so looking forward to that because I feel like every time I have to do an inspections day, like today, I have to stop the train of everything I'm doing, and then I have to restart it again when I get done doing my inspections job. It's so frustrating because I feel like I got to crank up the whole machine again every time. Like if I could just continue like what I'm doing every day and stay in that habit, um, I'm looking forward to that day so much. Like I can't even tell you. Can't even tell you. But at any rate, so we're working on an album now. A single duo will be coming out with an instrumental album. This probably the next couple of months.
Ooh.
Looks like. So we are on track for that. And I've been working on songs for that. We have a whole list of songs to work on. Steve and I, we've been working on music for years together, and so we just started pulling songs that were partially done. Some of them are almost done. Some of them are just in the idea phase. Some of them are partially recorded. You know, we've got all these songs. There's like over 40 of them. And I'm looking at this list and I'm like, oh my gosh. And some of these are from like 2011.
That's the year I graduated high school.
Yeah. So it was like, wow. I mean, some of these are from like I'm sitting there like listening to these songs, and I'm like, man, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but we have a date stamped into it, and it was just a jam session that we did, you know, back in 2011 or 2013 or something like that, where we, we pulled this segment out of a jam session. It's like that could be built into a song right there, and so we start working on it, and then we started it, and then stopped it, whatever. And yesterday I had this new song that I was working on. I grinded through a whole bunch of I was recording guitar parts and drum parts and stuff, and a little bit working on adjusting the bass part and everything. And then it was time for Don't Worry Wednesday, so I had to stop. And I was like, ah, which that's a good reason to stop. But the problem is today I have to do inspections, so I can't work on it today. I'm like, dang it. If I could just keep going, that'd be great. Now I have to figure out, okay, how do I write, record, and produce a song in one day? So then I can finish it, and then I don't have to try to do this crank up the machine again. But at any rate, the perseverance factor is just keeping that end in mind. You know, I find that for me, while I go through these starts and stops, and I have, responsibilities that I have to deal with, and I try and pick things up pick things up and stick with them. There always seems to be a bunch of stuff coming my way, like life throws a whole bunch of stuff at me. You know, there's family stuff. There's all my kids' extracurricular activities, which significantly less now due to the quarantine, which is kind of nice. Because I'm starting to realize how busy our kids were. It's like, oh my gosh. Um, so sticking through to the finish line, that's a skill. I remember hearing a speaker say this. He's like, there's a bunch of great starters, not that many great finishers out there. We always have a great idea. And a lot of time, and actually beyond that, there's more great thinkers than there are even great starters. Because a lot of people just come up with an idea of what they'd like to do, but then getting started is difficult. And that's why we talked so much on Tuesday about getting started, because that is like your biggest, hugest hurdle to get over. Yesterday, we talked about roadblocks. You're going to face a bunch of roadblocks as you go. And how do you get around them? How do you get past them? Stuff like that. And, one of the keys is to embrace the roadblock so that then you can learn something from it and you're not afraid of it and you can move past it so much faster. But then, how do you get to that finish line effectively on whatever you're working on? And one of the things I think is to just start making it a habit of finishing. And that's why for me, setting timers is so effective. When I set timers for tasks, I have a finish line built in for when I'm going to stop, especially if it's a task I know is going to take a long time and I'm going to need to take breaks in there. I set a timer for like 30 minutes or maybe an hour, and and then I'll work and I will finish that hour and I will reach that finish line right there. And so that what that's doing is that's programming my mind to finish, to at least finish that time segment right there, right? And then I get to the finish line, and then I get the reward. I get a break, with maybe a cup of coffee or some water or some Doritos because that's amazing. pork rinds. Those are even more amazing. Uh, and when when you start getting that habit of finishing, even the little simple things, and I would say especially the little simple, then you're going to start to just have this habit of, okay, I'm a finisher. When I start something, I finish it. When I start this time process, I finish it. I did this with a workout routine that I was doing. I had an 8 week program, and it was just something that I used a workout program I'd been a part of, and I kind of designed my own based on this, right? And it was an 8 week program, and I was like, I got to the eighth week. I was halfway through the 8th week, and I was debating whether or not to finish the last 2 days because I was really sore. And it was really hard, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I could stop. It's just me. There's nobody holding me accountable. Nobody would ever know if I stopped. No one would ever care if I stopped. Like, it's not a big deal, right? But in the back of my mind, I kept saying, no, you need to finish. If you stop, you start creating a habit of not finishing because our habits are either moving us forward or they're moving us backwards, but they never sit still. You are always either moving forward or backwards. And it takes discipline to move forwards, and to create those habits it seems like a really small thing, but the more you get in that habit, the more you start looking towards the finish, and the more you just start becoming that person, and you start viewing yourself as a person who finishes what they start. Then it just becomes a natural thing, and you start to feel weird when you stop in the middle of something. And it starts to be frustrating when you're forced to stop in the middle of something. And you're like, oh, I want to finish this. But then you're more likely to, whenever you're done with the interruption, you're more likely to just get back right at it because you have that habit. You become more of a person that's attuned to finishing what you start. So hopefully some of that makes sense. Joe, do you have something that makes more sense?
No, no, that makes lots of sense. What's it?
Well,
What's it? Bye.
well, come up with something.
More stuff to say. Well, I mean, random lover of physics and the universe! Exclamation point. um, well, I appreciate you saying that. I'm not really a good finisher. So, I, and, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And there's ways that you can look at things that you might finish a lot. I've been in this weird scenario where every job that I've had for the last 7 years, or not seven, the last 4 years, has been involved in a merger.
Oh, wow.
I've started 3 different jobs, and I only changed jobs once. um.
Wow.
So, and granted, most of the time when you have work, like it's never done. There's not like an end point. It's a little weird that like you finish different things. As I go throughout my day, I finish different projects for my clients. But you never reach like a point where you're like done. Which is kind of sad because there's something about like being finished with something that is really rewarding. To just
Yeah.
be able to say like I'm done with this. Like I don't need to do anything more to it. Like it is what it is. Um, which can be, which is why we brought up this topic. Is there's a great reward in just saying it is what it is. It is finished. Is such a powerful thing to say. Um, and so I that was one of the things we want to reach out to you today. And it's like when Joe and I talk about this, we're not talking from like, hey, we're like the best at this there ever was.
No, not at all. In fact, that's one of the You know how I've said we do this show for ourselves. You just get to hang out with us, right? Yeah, this is one of those key moments where it's like, we need to learn this better. Let's try and teach it.
Yeah.
Because
Well.
that's truly how you learn something the best, I think, is try and teach it.
Hmm. So I mean, that's one of the things. Is like we're still on the same road. Like we're still on the same. Hey, there are things we need to finish right now. I've switched projects for BSS. I've had a project that I've had for a while that I was working on that I was like, I really want to do this, and then I'm now part of a different project that's more pressing, and so
Mm.
I set my other one on the back burner. And again, I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna finish it. That's the importance of perseverance. But there's gonna come a time um, where you're gonna need some of your victories, and I think this really lends itself to what Joe said of you know creating little victories for yourself, creating little perseverances, because getting to the end of something isn't completely um, doesn't necessarily mean completing everything you have laid out for it. Maybe it's one subsection. Maybe it's, if you're writing a story, maybe it's finishing a character profile. Maybe it's, you know, finishing a scene for the script you're writing. Like whatever it is, it can be small but achievable. So, on top of this idea of, hey, we want you to be able to go after things and finish the things you start, we also want you to set your goals as achievable goals. Because by doing that, you give yourself the opportunity to succeed. Like if I tell myself I need to do something that's impossible in the next so long, it's demoralizing to do that. Like if Joe said he wanted to do 9 weeks of exercise in 8 weeks, like the math doesn't fit. Like it doesn't work. Like he legitimately cannot do it. Um,
Yes, I can.
all right, Joe's good luck at that. Joe, good luck with that. I can't even do 8 weeks of exercise in 8 weeks, so
Sure you can.
I'm gonna sit here and eat my brownie. The
I bet you won't have problem finishing it though.
crumbs on my plate
Yeah.
here
I
say
never I never
otherwise.
have a I never have a problem finishing brownies or ice cream or anything like that. Good foods like that. Man, I never have a problem finishing that.
All right.
Oh, were you handing it off to me?
No, no. Well, I really
Okay.
can't. Like, here you go. Here's the
Oh,
plate.
that's
Hand it
oh.
off to you for the screen. No, I was actually reading what Random Lover in Physics of the Universe has to say.
Hmm.
I once read that the brain desires completion greatly and naturally tends towards completion, but many of us feel like giving up before completion. Do you have any idea regarding this contradiction?
Hmm.
Yes. There's often this idea of my
I thought
I
you were
feel
gonna
like
say.
I'm
I thought you were gonna say. Yes, I do have an idea, Joe.
Joe. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
That's what
Uh,
I was waiting for. I was waiting for you to just be like, "Yeah, great idea, Joe. Talk about it."
this is a brilliant idea, and we could do that. I was actually gonna, reference I think it's from a song. Some along the lines of my brain's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes,
Oh
except
yeah,
in reverse.
yeah.
My brain's telling me yes, but my body's telling me no. Um, what you find in Lover is the fact that your brain can conjure up a million things that in your body can only do so many. There's a reason we have to go to bed at night. There's a reason that we have to eat and drink enough to have energy. Like there are things that differ on a mental and a physical level. And what happens is if you're not training them both, one of them is going to fall out of alignment with the other. So when Joe's talking about training with this small, he talked about training both. One, he talked about exercise, which is training his body. And when you do that, you have more energy and ability to complete things. You have more energy and ability to do what your mind is saying, hey, we need to do this. And on the flip side, with his idea of having these small completed jobs, he's training his brain to say, all right, these are what I need to complete. I don't need to complete everything right now. And so it's a matter of training both your mind and your body because they're trained very similarly but in very different ways. Generally with your mind you have to restrict it. It's an idea of self-control. And your body you have to like just use it. Like all you're doing is just using it, and that is what brings. So it's a very like contradictory idea. Like your body is almost contradicting itself, and it's not. It's just that's what makes you a whole person. Is you have this idea of the your physical like existence and doing things, and then your mental what you're doing. Surely there's more to it than that. No, no, I don't think so. But maybe Joe has some additional
I
information.
I always just figure there's more to everything.
One of
I don't always know what it is, but I was just figuring I've never seen. I always feel. You ever get that feeling where you're like, I'm not even scratching the surface?
not really.
Oh, okay. See, but you deal with really super complicated tax forms, so you dig deeply into a bunch of stuff all the time. Um, I don't know. I personally, I find I don't know why it is, but I tend to lean toward laziness and comfort is I tend to just lean in that direction. And I think that's kind of natural. I think all of us kind of tend, I had the choice to, you know, do something that's hard and might cause me some stress or nothing, just watch Netflix or Amazon Prime and whatever, or watch YouTube videos or Twitch streams. I'd rather do the thing that's relaxing and not stressful, not going to cause me. It's so interesting that the things that are good that are going to create impactful differences in our lives and in the lives of the people around us are usually things that cause us a little bit of stress. Exercise causes stress on your body, right? That's how your muscles grow through exertion, putting stress on them. Your mind grows by putting stress on it. It's a good form of stress. It's not the kind of stress that pushes you down. It's not distress. It's eustress. EU stress. that
okay.
it's a healthy kind of stress, a stress that is in process of building. And so but that's the kind of stuff that actually is going to help you be a finisher. But we naturally tend away from stress of all kinds. And it's a weird thing because you're right. There is a contradiction, you know, and I don't know why. I really don't. If somebody can figure out why that is, personally, maybe it's just because nothing. And so we just kind of tend toward that because we'd rather do nothing. However, I did read a book by a guy named Robert Kiyosaki. He talked about was he was in his 40s. He built his businesses to the point where he could retire. He didn't have to work anymore. He had built up his businesses to the point where he had passive income from his businesses that would continue on without him working in those businesses. He had set up proper management in every single business So he could totally let go and just collect his owner's cut of the businesses. He didn't have to do anything. And he said after 4 years, he found out that he was really, really bored and his life was going down the tube because he wasn't doing anything. And so at that point, he's like, man, I really don't like the results here. I better go do something. And so he started his, training and education company and started writing books, stuff like that. Basically started because he was bored and he needed something to do. Um, but from there, now we have this whole, we have all of his information that he's sharing with us on how to create business, finance world, and everything like that. But really, it's so interesting because the thing we most want to do, which is nothing, we think that being relaxed and being, just laying around and doing nothing, is gonna make us happy. The least fulfilling thing we can. It's fulfilling to work. There is really, I mean, people who do manual labor. I know the days when I work hard. I'm proud of myself. I sleep. When I'm out, working. I remember times when I would work with a neighbor of mine, and he would always get like he'd fill his driveway with field stones to do landscaping around his yard with. So we'd spend like all day moving rocks. Man, that is some stupid work. But at the end of it, he'd have this great landscaping of all these rocks everywhere, right? And we'd look around and be like, that is really cool. Then then you're exhausted, your hands hurt, your back hurts, your legs hurt, every part of you hurts. Go and you kind of just like stumble to your bed and you lay down. It's the easiest I've ever had. Two reasons. One, because you're exhausted. Two, because mentally, and I really, even though it seemed like just a dumb little thing, move rocks around. Worked hard. I did it. And I think, like what Joe was touching on earlier, the rewards of perseverance, so great. We want you to experience those rewards because, man, I like it. When this book finally comes back from the printer, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to probably have that feeling. Actually, worked really hard at this. I completed it. I had the help of some great people, some guidance. Like look at all the great stuff that's created by Rainey and Kanesaki, Jan AFK and Road Draws and Corona and then obviously Static P, all of his writings and coming up with the whole idea. And all I did was take all their stuff and put it like arranged it. That was my job. But it was still a lot of work. And it was still fun and it was still hard and all the encompassing things, right? Now, when I finally get it back and I look at it, there's going to be that feeling. Oh, there's going to be accomplishment, being a finisher, awesome. So definitely do that. Is my mic cutting out periodically? Probably good for me.
It's not on
Maybe
my end if it is.
Joe's hitting the button.
Yeah, I'm like, Joe, it's time for you
He's
to be
like
done.
blip 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 blip. There's a Morse code thing going on in there.
Yep, that's what it is. No,
Anyway,
I don't cut out Joe unless it's the end of the show. It's not the end of
well,
the show yet.
it ought to be though. It's
we
about
are
that time.
we are getting there. One last. I'm just having a stroke. We're good. Okay,
No, no having a
that's fine.
stroke, Jeff. You're not
Um,
allowed to have a stroke until after the conference call.
mhm. The last conference call that we ever have.
Yes, yes.
That one.
Years and years from now.
The last thing I'm going to say to Random Lover's point, like, wait, that's it, is the most disappointing feeling ever. It can be, but it can also be the most rewarding feeling ever. Because a lot of times we kind of get to this point of, well, that's it. That's all I have to do. Like, yeah, that truly, that's all you have to do. There's not. There are lots of things in life where we want to tell ourselves it can't be that easy, and it really is. It really is. It's not mentally difficult to come to that conclusion. There might be physical, like, oh, now I have to do it, and that can be like a little hard. But like, it's not a complicated thing. You don't have to be like a super genius to be able to come to like, oh, this is what I have to do. You don't have to have super math skills or 400 IQ. You can just go
That's
out
good.
there.
I'm
Go.
glad.
Me too. I'm pretty sure 400 IQ isn't possible, but that's okay. Um, so I mean, that's one of the cool things about this life is like the most important things that you'll face. Um, they're not gonna be complex. The things that are truly important, like, you know them and you can deal with them, and it's gonna seem like that's it because it is, and that's a really joyful thing to learn. Because when you can say that's it, it means you truly are capable of it. You can do this thing that you're about that you have in front of you. And then to your second question, I ate the brownie while I was on the Zoom call with Joe before the show
Yes,
started.
yes. Yeah, this breakfast brownie before right before we started.
You see, the key is chocolate is made from the same things as coffee, cocoa beans, and
Mm,
so they have caffeine in them.
it's
And I don't drink coffee, so I had to figure out some way to wake myself up this morning. And that's it. That's the only reason. That's the only
yeah,
reason we have morning
it's all
brownies.
good. It's all good. We got Pepsi over there too, or something, right?
Yep, Pepsi
Yeah, yeah,
sponsorship.
yeah. Sponsors. Um, yeah, that's so right. And I think Joseph had said something about that, about how yeah, he said oftentimes the smallest action can have the biggest impact. That's so true. There's an axiom I heard that says if you're faithful in the little things, faithful in the big things. Like when we cut corners in the small things in our lives, we're more likely to cut corners. And so that's why it's so important to to even in the littlest things and develop the habits with simple small things. So important to do that. And I agree. I do agree with Random Lover. Wait, that's it? Can be disappointing. Like it's like, wait, that's all that it was? Like I was expecting so much more. Right. That can be a disappointment. Also can be exciting when you're like, wait, that's it? Like that's all I have to do? And then I'm finished or then I'm done. That's it. Like it can totally be an exciting thing. And you're like, ah, that was easy. Let's move on to the next one. So you're absolutely right. It can be either way. But speaking of either way, you should find your way. This page right here. That is the place. Joseph has found it, posted a topic for us on the Free for All Friday. So tomorrow's Free for All Friday. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's the mind is
Tomorrow's
the.
Friday.
Are we doing the mind body problem? By Raka. I think that's the one. You know D1.
No one.
But anyway, Friday is Free for All Friday. It's where we handle topics that you guys put here on that web page. And actually, we were talking. It might be cool eventually to have enough topics where that's all we do all the time for all Friday every day. But then we'd have to come up with names.
Mhm.
Yeah, random. You did. You submitted one, and it's in there. I actually posted it. You submitted it in the chat, and we'll be getting to that one looks like probably next Friday we'll be doing yours. Um, and yeah, so that's going to be exciting. So please feel free, put them in there for the free for all Friday. You know, if we start doing it on more than one day, we'll have to come up with names. Like we came up for Don't Worry Wednesday, we came up with Don't Muddle Monday. Actually, Princess Don't Muddle Monday, Don't Fret Friday. Then we'll have to come up with different names. Free for all Friday. Um, uh,
We'll come up with them. That'll be one of the topics.
somebody else has to come up with stuff. You guys. Most of them are community generated, actually, because you guys are so much smarter than us. But we just kind of take it, and hopefully we try to give you guys credit where it's due. But yeah, so tomorrow is the Mind Body Problem by Araka, and so be here for that. Also, you can go and hang out. I was gonna say go hang out on the Twitch. Happen on. So at any rate, that happens on the weekends, so you should definitely go to the Twitch channel and subscribe. Um, we have that actually. Find that good idea, wouldn't it?
Perhaps.
Perhaps, mayhaps that'd be a good idea.
Mayhaps indeed, sir.
Yeah,
Indeed.
go there, go there, and subscribe to that or follow whatever it is over there.
Yep.
Subscribing, I think, actually costs money, so you can follow, get notifications.
Yep. Get notified.
Yes, do that. So, at any rate, that's it. What else you got, Joe?
That was it for me too. Like I said, 3-day challenge coming up this week and Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm.
If tell your friends, maybe you don't want to participate, tell your friends to participate. They don't want to participate, have them tell their friends to participate, and then we'll just have some really cool stories that we can bring to you guys, which will be fun to share and to explore and can really kind of uplift people who are going through some stuff. So hop on over there. I think that's really the only thing that I had left. Jehoshaphat's, regards to the brownies. I was making a bad joke. Don't worry about it. I understand that chocolate contains neurological chemicals that play a role in the regulation of mood and depression and accidents. Yes, that is accurate. But there are many things that factor into depression. I don't think eating brownies is going to cure your depression. So anyway,
Yeah, well, because I've noticed chocolate actually can enhance depression when the crash comes later. Seen that with my kids. They eat a bunch of chocolate, and they're like, "Woohoo, man!" And then like 10 minutes later, oh my gosh.
All right.
Totally how it is. You totally should have cut that off before I did that.
I wish I would have, but alas, here we are.
Oh yes. But anyway, you guys are awesome. Come back tomorrow. We'll see you in the morning for Free for All Friday.